go for a Helen's right now. So it's Sunday morning.
Sunday morning.
We had a hectic week.
We did have a hectic week.
Well, it's really my fault, but
it's fine. Yeah. Well, you went tuna fishing, so that's excusable.
Yeah.
What do you think? I mean, as your partner, you think I'm gonna say, no, you can't go tuna fishing?
No, I know.
Well, she should have been like, I'm going tuna fishing.
Yeah.
Understood.
But it's also like you gotta wonder, like, all right, are we interfering with Sunday too much? But really, this isn't terrible.
This worked out.
Yeah.
Because normally we'd be at the beach.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this worked out. I got a few things I'd like to talk about real quick before we jump in. I've been fasting. I asked you about the 3-day.
Yeah.
I do fasting all the time.
Yeah.
The problem with my fasting is, then I'll just go off the rails. And usually it's because of alcohol. But I'm trying to get back down to the low weight I was at. So I was at just in January. Beginning of January, I was up to the highest I'd been, even the year before that, it's been like 253. Mm-hmm. That's the highest I've seen on the scale after some really bad weekends.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got just like a month ago, I guess like 2 months ago, I've been kind of slacking. I was down to 221.
Mm-hmm.
All the way down to 221.
Mm-hmm.
Fluctuating, being bad, and I was 230. Shit, I was like 238 just like a week ago.
Yeah.
This morning I was 227.
Okay.
So I can lose weight pretty good.
Yeah.
But the fasting helps. So I've just been eating like one meal a day, and it's been whatever. Like yesterday I had ice cream and stuff. I had a hot fudge brownie sundae thing.
All right.
But it doesn't work long term. The 1 day eating because I think because of all the stressors and all the little triggers I have, eventually I'll break loose, and then I'll just be like, I'll come home.
Yeah.
And eventually that dinner that's supposed to be a small meal will turn into like, let's just a night. Like it won't make a difference. And I'll do all this hard work and then like not lose weight. Yeah. So I'm doing like a quick fast. I'm doing a quick fast. This is like my 4th day. Probably I'm just gonna eat 1 day small, and it's not hard to do. No. It's not. If I eat breakfast like this morning, I really want to eat that breakfast. I'll make some good stuff.
Yeah.
But I know if I eat that, then it's easier to sell lunch to myself, and then it's easier to sell the dinner to myself. So it's easy just to skip it.
You gotta, if you're going to do anything, like let's talk about like bad nutrition wise, like have a bad meal, have an ice cream, whatever. Like the end of the day is the time to do it, because then it doesn't throw your whole day off. Because then you can just have that, you can relax, and go to bed.
Yeah.
Where if you had a shit meal and breakfast, then you're right.
I feel
easier.
Fuck it, we already fucked the day up, and then once I give myself the green light, it's on.
Then it's just a 5,000 calorie day at that time.
Yeah, exactly. So I know myself well enough now. Yeah. Because I asked you about the 3-day, and I was like, I'm not ready. I just started the fast. Like, let me get back to a healthy state. I want to do a 3-day fast on I don't want to waste it on fat. Like, that's easy to come off. I want to hit this thing when
if you're going to suffer.
I'm going to suffer. I want to get it I want to make sure it's like a breakthrough, because the breakthrough for me is going to be getting into the teens. Yeah. That's going to be something really cool.
Yeah, I like a 3-day isn't that difficult for me anymore. I think I'm going to go into it this week, because last week was pretty easy. And you feel so good. Like, I would say a day into it, maybe 36 hours, inflammation is gone. There's no sore joints. There's no the autophagy, the mental clarity that you get. So that it's the point where your body starts, I guess, getting out bad cells, rebuilding good stuff, and you know how you wake up in the morning sometimes and you'll be foggy. It kind of takes you a minute to get awake. When I would say on about the 36-hour point, I don't have that. That second morning, you wake up and it's just boom, you're awake. It's like you've been awake for 3 hours. You just feel great, jump up, everything feels wonderful, and you get that energy, right? It just, you can, working out's not a problem. Everything's going on, and there's studies that say at that point your growth hormone naturally jumps up 1,000%.
Testosterone and all that, right? Jumps up.
Yeah, everything hormonally. That's what I've heard, right? What I've read about. Everything starts going through the roof, and there's great things. I will tell you, I've done one 5-day fast, and it was not easy for sure, because you get to a point about day 4, in the afternoon of day 4, I felt like absolute trash. Your stomach hurts, everything just feels like shit.
Yeah.
but it's really short. It's like a short time, and when you get through that, then you're great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the fifth day was actually one of the easiest, and I felt great during that fifth day. Now I'm still a fat kid at heart. Like I just can't wait to eat because I just like food, you know. But and what that is really is like the hunger you're getting and all that is your body saying like eat something. It's trying to trick you to eat.
Yeah.
Before it taps into fat reserves and all this other stuff that it can use as energy, which heals your body.
Yeah.
And that's the fascinating part of it. So it's really not like the losing weight is, I feel like, is a good byproduct of it.
Yeah.
But all the other benefits are
the other benefits, like is how good my gut feels. Mm-hmm. It made sense when just watching, a lot of like the Joe Rogan people, the guys he brings on. You can listen to those guys, and all the stuff they were saying. Like the one thing that made the most sense was just giving your body time to work on itself. Which I was loading it full of fat and alcohol, so my liver's like, I can't even work on the food. So put that in storage as fat. I gotta handle the alcohol, and then my whole body itself was like waiting, like, we'd like some shit to work on too if you could get past these things. So that's why I like just a one small meal a day for a bit, in between here, just like my body's like, thank you. We got some stuff we need to work on. Like when I put through the stuff I put through, it's like, come on, man, like that's we need a week. Like that ain't just coming, like, and I can feel it in my gut as I get older. I feel it, like I don't like it gets. The fasting is even easier as I've gotten older, just because of how long it takes to recover from really bad episodes. Of like drinking, eating late at night, eating the whole fridge out. Because I'm college, high school, sports, lifeguarding, all that. Eat whatever you want, eating a grow. That's my building block. So like,
and we still have it in our head. That's what we want to do. But you can't do it anymore. You just can't eat like that and live like that anymore. Long term, right? Every once in a while, but still.
So that's where I'm at. I think that I think I could get below 200. I think I have enough here, dude. 100%. I think enough here.
Yeah.
And I don't want it.
Yeah, you can get below 200.
People are like, man, you're gonna get like weird skin. I'm like, what the hell do I care? I'm not running through people anymore. What the hell do I care? I'm trying to be like a really fit dad, and like I'm trying to challenge myself into other things. Like we talk, like the big game hunting. Like I'm just trying to get to a new base. And then,
because the better you feel, the more shit you could do.
Yes.
When you're tired and fat and lazy, and you just want to sit on the couch and do nothing, and your kid wants to go outside and play, or go roughhouse in the pool or something, and you don't feel like doing it. That's the worst. Why would you want to do that? And
guess what? What's ready for that segue is the phone.
Yeah.
So we can jump right into technology. So today, I'm going to take Macon for the first time, go fishing in the pond.
Oh, fuck it. Is that why the rods are in the back?
Oh, yeah.
I like his rod and little rod holder.
Well, the rods are also in the back because I also have the cooler that protects my car that's not currently up to date on registry.
Yeah, riding dirty.
Riding dirty, you gotta put the cooler in the back. Yeah. So, but yeah, we're gonna go. I'll probably go hit Hickory Ridge Road, go to that big pond. She can walk the kid around the pond.
On the corner of Hickory Ridge and
in front of Brian's, that big pond in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's snakeheads in there.
Oh, is there? No doubt.
I'm fairly certain Soph caught a snakehead in that pond.
Yeah.
The other one on Hickory Ridge and Brentford.
Yeah.
I think it's Hickory. It comes
out.
On the corner. There's snakeheads in there too.
Nice.
Yeah. So.
Ain't trying to catch those, but I'm just trying to see the man on a sunny.
Yeah, dude. That is the best.
With that is why it is when I'm fat and lethargic. Before I even get to my kids, is YouTube is a killer for me.
For you or for the kid?
Is for me is an easy escape. When I'm fat, like you say, you're tired, so I just get on my phone. And my biggest enemy is researching how to build things.
That's what you like to watch on YouTube?
My YouTube is not sexy.
Yeah.
It is very nerdy.
Yeah, I mean, mine is a lot of hunting, fishing, crabbing. I was a little fascinated in like the build videos of like deer stands, mini houses, barn dominiums.
I get deep into it.
Yeah. And
it messes me up at night too. I'll sit there and kink my neck and watch YouTube, and I dive, especially and it does help for jobs I'm doing, like I watch like 10 different people's aspect on their theory of why you should do, if you're doing the wall first or you're doing the trim first, and then I go through what their thoughts, their theories are, and then compare it to the next and just see what's good for, and I go deep, I nerd out on it.
Yeah, so that's not the best use of your time, or it's definitely not for you trying to go to bed.
I would tell you now that it probably gives me depression.
Yeah.
I really do not like the phone anymore, and I think all that stuff is just giving me depression and probably anxiety. And I'm thinking, damn, like that definitely have hit a point. Like I set the phone like this weekend. I just set it aside because being self-employed too, you can just hang out the phone. Somebody always got a question. There's always something.
That's the problem, man. There's the business part of it where somebody's always trying to get a hold of you. Literally 7 days a week.
Yeah.
And then there's communicating with your friends, which is fine too. And then on top of that, the stuff we can zone out on, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, all those things. And it is a time suck. And it is like, I can see what you said about like causing depression and different things. And it basically kills your motivation, right, of anything. So we recognize that it could do that to us. A kid doesn't know that. All they know is they're being entertained and they like it.
Yeah.
It's I can see where there may be some damage that's being caused that they don't even know about. We don't even know about, really.
I think about when Macon is asking me to come play and then sees me how often I'm on my phone. And I'm justifying, like, all right, hold on, I'm like, do I know?
I'm guilty of that too.
Yeah. Do I, like, is it like, so recently I'm trying to practice on the weekends, like, if you ain't scheduled up with me on the weekends, I don't need the phone.
Yeah,
Candace has a phone. We're next week. We do everything together, so I don't need mine. Yesterday we went to the Wilmington train station.
Oh yeah.
Did a little train ride. Mm-hmm. I was like, "Do you need my phone?" She's like, "For the camera." I was like, "Nah." I was like, "You got one."
Yeah.
I was like, so I left it in there. I didn't pick it up till later that night. Just to make sure I didn't miss anything important. No, see it, put it right back down.
Yeah.
Make sure I talk. Actually, when I talked to you, it was the first time I had seen it all day.
If you were to pick your phone up and there was like 6 or 7 messages from people, does that give you anxiety?
Man, I, as a contractor, and I'm always fearful of, like, is it a complaint? And I don't get them, but it's always in the back of my mind. Is it a complaint? Mm-hmm. Somebody needs something.
And you missed it.
And I missed it, or like I have one person that needs me. There's always so much, some annoying stuff. Like I had one person that called me on Thursday. It's like older couple. They don't do emails. They don't do computer. Mm-hmm. They're like, well, it's a job I barely made any money on. Like I just helped them to help them, and I barely made money on the job, and it took a lot of work, and because they were going to lose their home insurance. Mm-hmm. I was like, so you're saying I'm going to probably make this happen?
Yeah.
But then they're calling me like on Thursday, like, hey, we need to invoice again. We lost it. We need to send it in to somebody. I'm like, okay. I was like, you need me to drop it off? And I was like, yeah. I'm like, this is the most inconvenient time. I'm out of printer paper at the same time. I have, like, we already have everything scheduled up. I'm like, and this is for a job I didn't even make money on.
Now you got to take an hour to run there, back, all that.
Just like something, I know when I open the phone, like they call, they message, because there's old, I have nothing else to do. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I got my own life too. Like, what the fuck? But it does. I would say that, but I don't open them. I just go, boom, and I just see on there.
Make a mental note.
I just go, whatever.
That's my biggest problem. So like I could put the phone down, walk away, and just say, well, I'll deal with whatever later. But sometimes I have to ask myself, like, is it worth like that? And I keep saying anxiety is the best word I can think of it. Is it worth that feeling when I come back to the phone and I've got to catch up on it and something I missed? There's always inevitably something that needed to be. I can't say needed right now because nothing's needed right now.
I think the perception. I think that's where we went.
You think it's self-imposed? Like we put that on ourselves?
Yeah, man. I always, I see them. Candace she'll be on her phone. She's like, oh, I'm just doing this. I'm like, it's always just a.
Yeah.
I'm like, we got to sit back. I'm like, it's not important. There's always a good excuse.
Yeah, yeah.
Which means that we could always be on it. And then I think about what does Macon see. I don't want him to grow up. I don't spend that much time on the phone during work. Mm-hmm. I try not to anymore. Like I get the phone calls all day, but anymore it's just like, man, leave a message. Like I gotta work. Like I can't. I no longer. I need to take all these phone calls.
Yeah.
It's just, man, leave them. If it's that important, or if you really want to see me, you'll leave a message, and I'll be able to call you back. Like this ain't fucking McDonald's drive-thru. Like I ain't about to be there. Like I got shit. You know what I mean?
And dude, like
the phone to me, the phone isn't real. Yo, I texted you. I'm like, I don't owe you shit on this phone. Like I have the phone, but I don't sign a contract saying, hey man, like I said this and I called and like
and I gotta get back to you with it.
I don't owe this phone nothing. Yeah. If I don't want to fucking look at it, I don't want to fucking look at it. What the fuck? You know what I mean? Like I grew up most of my life without a phone.
We didn't have them. I know. And so think about that. It's funny because me and a buddy were talking the other night about how, you know, how our grandfathers and great grandfathers lived, and
was it great?
And so, and it went deep into a lot of different things. Actually, a lot about like hormones and stuff like that, and how they acted and inside their family and their stress and all that stuff, right? And he made a good point. He's like, well, when our dad's grandfathers, great grandfathers were done working, they were done. When they got home, that's it. There was no email, there was no phone where somebody could call you or interrupt you. And now even if you work a 9 to 5, I feel like you're always on. You can get an email late, you can send a text message late, and people got to the point where it's almost expected, and they've allowed it to be okay.
Yeah.
To communicate with someone else off hours, you know,
or just through email. I hate that one in real estate. Like, hey, we emailed you. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
It's email. It's not a fucking chat bot. It's not a chat.
Email. I promise you, if you email it at 9 a.m. by 11 o'clock, there is 40 fucking other realtors spammed out my whole email. I don't even see it. I don't even check it for 4 days.
Yeah.
It's gone, brother. Well, this is when I need the phone. Call it. If it's for real, just call the phone.
Yeah, email's not meant to be answered immediately.
That's done to me. Email's done. I don't even... Email to me is if you need somebody that is proof that you try, or
that's right.
A paper trail.
That's right. No.
That's it, man. Like, other than that, we don't use it much.
Yeah. But no, so like, we're kind of all over the place, but to the kids, right? And I'm not gonna lie, I'm guilty of it. Like, the kids need something to occupy them, and hey, watch a tablet or play a game on your tablet, whatever. I do think, we're conscious about getting them outside and playing. Like yesterday was a perfect example. Our kids were outside all fucking day. Like, they were playing all day, swimming, playing games, riding four-wheelers, with other kids from morning all the way up until deep into the night, where they finally wound down and got some popcorn and watched the movie.
That probably went to bed pretty good.
Yeah. So I feel like there's a good balance, because if it's nice out, we're usually outside or we're usually doing something.
Yeah.
Wintertime might get a little more. There might be a little more screen time just because there's not a whole lot else to do. And I could do better. We could play games. We could build shit. We could do other things.
I'm about to just. And I already don't do iPads. Like, they don't. He has no. The only time that he gets a phone or an iPad is like if we're down at the beach and we're out with a big group and we're pushing the no nap, and they're like, and we're being selfish, and we're like, dude, give him a phone because we're just ruining it for everyone else in this place.
Yeah,
like, we can't even relax. Like, that's the only time. Even when we travel in a car, I don't give him anything because I think about myself as a kid. And I learned how to talk to myself, how to look out of the car, and look at my surroundings, because I don't want him to be like, because it's not, to me, the phone or the iPad is solves an issue that maybe is it's just a temporary issue that we don't do, is very rare. And not like hey, it's a long ride, we don't do it. I don't even fucking, because he's a shitbag. When if he gets on tablet, and he sees Blippi, shitbag. Yeah. Can't get them all. It's like the worst.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, it is crack. I mean,
it's the worst thing ever.
It is wild that it is a drug to them too.
It's a drug to. Imagine it's a drug to us. It's it's
and a kid that doesn't know how to deal with it.
Yeah. So we
can go, fuck man, this is out of control.
We started I got to get it's been crazy. We've been kind of abandoning our game plan, but originally we were doing good. The sitting down for dinner, I grew up sitting down for dinner. We sit at the table.
Yeah.
So no TV on. Sit down with dinner. Like we're trying to get back to those roots. Like no TV, no distraction. Like
and
that includes me. So like I have to learn with my own phone and all that stuff. Like when I'm done work, I'm done.
Yeah.
I don't care if it loses me business anymore. Like we talk about life is short. Like whatever. Like if you weren't willing to wait and if it was that dire, because you know what I learned. It's usually me that takes the brunt of something and makes it over important, and then I do all this stressed out, and then the people aren't even grateful. So like it's just I like that it weeds itself out.
Not worth it, yeah.
Not even worth it, man.
Yeah.
Like we'll call people back, like they'll call for a roof, and I'll call back like the next morning, like, oh man, we called you yesterday. I'm like, don't even sound like a good customer.
No.
Did you even research me? Like, why did you even call me if you're just going to get somebody?
They're just going through a list of numbers and find whoever answered
and then
first.
that self-filters, and I have to deal with that person. They're going to be a person that's been a knucklehead while we're doing the job.
And they're not going to be, like, loyal, you know?
Yeah, I'm almost 40. I've already, dude, I've worked a lot. And I've already worked all the weekends I can. I've already done it. Whatever's happened, whatever point I made it to now is where we're at.
Yeah.
And I'm going forward with whatever gains or losses I'm taking, but it's all about the kids now, about the family. Because at the end of the day, that's what makes me happiest. The other stuff is giving me, like I said, the phone and all that stuff is giving me depression.
Yeah.
It
sounds like you're fed up.
I'm fed up with it.
Yeah.
I really am, because I've seen everything on YouTube. I hate when, and I've been saying that for years, when people try to show me videos, or like someone sends me a video, on Facebook, or somebody sends me a video every day. I'm like, and I'm saying like, what are you doing? What the fuck I want to see this video? Like, that's not funny. I've already seen it. There's nothing that you could show me I haven't already seen.
Yeah.
It's just another version.
Oh. I need to get better at that. Cause
I don't care about it. I'm trying to pull myself out of the matrix, or go in the matrix, whatever the hell it was, and step back, because it is giving me depression, and I find my brain wants to go to it. I'm like, fuck that. I'm like, first off, this phone ain't controlling me. So, and I think about, what does Macon see? Is he going to think that that's normal? So then then the next step I'd like to talk about is, when is a kid, like your kids are older, like when are you going to give a kid a phone?
Man, I'm going to hold off on that as long as I possibly can.
That's where I'm at.
Because we've seen, like, if I could go back and do anything again, I would hold off on tablets and electronics a little bit longer. Just because I feel like it's a crutch that you don't need, really. When you think you need it, you really don't need it.
Yeah.
So I would, if I could go back, I would do that a little bit different. And the phone thing, I've always said, like, man, I'm not getting into that. Like, so Charlotte's 9, so thinking just in a few years, her being in middle school, is she going to start wanting, like, social media accounts? And like, I can't let that.
Shit.
That's scary. I'm not going to do it. And like, she has a tablet. She has a kid's Facebook Messenger that we can monitor, that her little girlfriends and stuff, and she's not even on it. It was a little while she was on it a lot, and then she kind of just like fizzled out. So she's not even on that anymore, which I'm thankful for. But that's a little bit different, because we can monitor who she talks to. She can't nobody can reach her unless we allow it. But yeah, like social media accounts, regular cell phone, and dude, when it comes to the point where she really does need it, like we're dropping her off to something.
Let's go to that. When do you really need it? Because when we grew up, I didn't get one until I was almost out of high school.
Dude, when I got my cell phone, I was like fucking 20.
Yeah, I was 18.
Yeah, so
17.
And that was figure 2000-ish. 2001-ish is when I got a cell phone.
That's the
So do you remember being dropped off by your parents to go hang out with your friends at the mall, the skating rink, go on a date, whatever, and your parents dropped you off, and then you said, hey, at 10:30, be right here at this spot, I will be here. And then you just...
That's very doable.
You just did it.
Everyone else has a phone.
It is. We rely on it too much. Well, you can't do that, because you got to call me. What if something goes wrong? And I don't... Are times that different?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The only thing I will say that sucks, we talked about before, is when we were kids, we'd be on bikes a lot. Mm-hmm. It's kind of scary now because everyone's texting and driving. You know what I mean? So I really don't.
So times are different. We have to acknowledge that. That I don't. Maybe there's more.
And technology makes it now for is all. The other thing is, we have daughters. I mean, they get, like, from what I hear from schools, you're talking naked pictures sometimes early, dude.
I know.
That's the kind of shit that scares me.
I can't deal with that. Like,
I don't know.
I will fuck somebody up, you know?
And I fuck that.
I mean,
it's our shit. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to create like this dictatorship where she wants that shit now because she wants that bad boy because dad's fucking nuts.
I know.
You know, I want to ride this line.
Yeah.
I think just creating enough fun outdoors and making the phone not cool. I think that's my goal. I was like, that shit ain't even cool.
But where we lose it is when they're around their peers.
When do we need it? When do you want to call them? When does the dad thing step in? You want to fucking know where they're at, and when do you want to fucking be a helicopter parent? Like, where they at? And I said this before in the last podcast. How the fuck did our parents just let go? I just left the house and fucking went on the bike, came back at the night for dinner.
Yeah. Can you imagine like making Dylan that at 9 years old, and like really go in deep how you would feel? You'd probably be a little bit panicky. You'd probably be a little bit nervous, a little bit anxious. I already think about my kids driving.
We've really left.
Yeah.
I mean, I live
all day
right in front of you, and I would bike all the way in town.
Yeah.
And then that was it. I'd come home at dark.
And you weren't even in trouble.
Wasn't even in trouble.
Yeah.
Most of the time I get yelled at, like, can you just call sometimes, check in? Like, you have no idea. Like, you just call.
So I'm thankful that our kids have some pretty good neighbors. Our neighbors that live in your old house, and the neighbors next to them, there's little kids.
Yeah.
And all three houses, they play together. At any given time, somebody can be at somebody else's house playing and being fed, and it's great because they're experiencing that, like real face-to-face interaction.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, I haven't seen the kids in like 4 fucking hours. Where are they? And then you kind of, a little bit of panic and like, all right, start texting, or you look outside, like, am I here? Okay, I hear them, whatever, and like, phew. And maybe my mom did that. I don't know. Maybe she did have that little bit of.
I should probably talk with my mom. That'd be.
Maybe I should.
That's probably what that's probably should ask.
How did you do this? Did you ever get a little anxious when you couldn't see us when you looked out the window? But then but I tell you a good thing, right? I could send a quick text message to Heather or Matt across the street. Hey, kids over there? Yep, they're here. Okay, cool. Send them home if you need, whatever. That's nice. That's a nice thing to do, Or send Charlotte and Jerry home. It's 8 o'clock, and then 30 seconds later, here they come walking in the door. That's nice.
I remember those. Hey, your dad just called. You gotta go home. Okay, all right, everybody.
That's that. Or like my parents would just yell. My dad would out the door. Jerry.
Yeah.
Like, see you guys, and go fucking running home.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
giving them a phone. Is it necessary as a preteen, as a teen, middle schooler? Do they need to have a phone?
Here's the thing. It would be nice to contact them directly, but I will. What I would do is the phone would have no chance of having any fucking apps.
No, it's just a flip phone.
Like that bitch is getting a Casio, Motorola.
Yeah.
He get a faceplate with an antenna stroke gun.
I think that
was that where most parents go wrong, complaining about the apps. But like, why would your kid have Snapchat?
There's no fucking way. Yeah, no, I would not let them have that either. So we've talked about this. The first extra phone we're going to get is going to be a house cell phone, a real basic flip phone.
Okay.
Because
take it where they.
Well, it just stays in the drawer. It's just like because we've left Charlotte alone. For short periods of time, like to run to the grocery store, or like, let's just say she's not feeling good, she's not going to school, but I got to take Jerry to school, and I'll just let her sit in her bed, and I'll go run Jerry to school and back, and it's I'm going 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And he always tell her like, hey, don't answer the door, leave everything locked, whatever. And Charlotte's, I feel like she's a little more mature for her age. I can trust her.
Yeah.
But we talked about, okay, she gets a little bit older, maybe we start leaving her a little bit longer. We should probably get a house cell phone that if she does need to call us, she can. And that's just going to be the basic flip phone that she can just open up, call mom and dad.
Yeah. And then you can start installing a Ring camera so you can know who the hell is knocking or coming up. It kind of eliminate that, like, kids, please don't answer the door.
And so I feel like...
Where technology is good.
if we had, that is. And if we had that, and then as she got a little bit older, and say we were dropping her off to sporting things or things, whatever that, okay, we're going to let you go with your friends, then maybe you carry that flip phone with you that night. It's not yours, you just have it. This is the house's, but you need it today, so you get it. And I think that's how we've loosely talked about going into it, but I don't want nothing with apps on it, nothing that she can put Facebook or Snapchat or Instagram on there.
Yeah, you got all the virtual bullying and people saying weird shit. And,
It is different. People talk about, oh, this generation is this or whatever. They have things to say. You can't argue that those the teenagers, the middle schoolers and shit, they, in that sense, they have it harder than us.
Yeah.
Because they can't escape their bullies. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's no
I also find a lot of, like, at least my tennis players, I don't think they really do Facebook. I don't think they really care.
No, I think that's an old person thing.
I think it's a lot of us. I don't think the younger generation's all about, like, even where I was at with Facebook is different how it is now. I just use it for business. Back then it was for college.
I think they're more Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok.
Because some of the kids I see that coach and stuff, they come up on Facebook. They barely got any friends. They don't post stuff. It's like, I don't even know why they have it. It's like, maybe they're not really. They already grew with instant gratification. They don't really need Facebook. It's not really.
Yeah, I think it's old. I think it's just a different demographic now.
But yeah, you want to keep, obviously, like, like you said, like, you can see who's trying to talk to your daughter. So predators or nothing like that.
Yeah, and you got to keep them in line too. I don't want.
So what about for our sons? Same thing. I mean, I just don't want. I don't want this dude sending dick pics.
Oh my god,
it's just child pornography. I mean, I think they made it more real now. As far as kids sharing that stuff.
Yeah, and that's the scary. That's where I think they have it harder because there's different and additional peer pressures.
Yeah,
there's different psychological things or mental fucks because at the end of the day, if somebody can be a dickhead virtually, it's easier for them to do that.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think it is different, but I do think the answer is just get them off of it.
You shouldn't even have this. No. Are you going to do how much? All right. So also different technologies. Like, do you guys have like PlayStations or stuff like that?
No. Do we have a Nintendo Switch that we'll play every once in a while? But when we play it, it's like as a family.
Yeah.
Like the four of us will play Mario Kart.
Yeah, that's cool.
And it's like we go through spurts where it might be a couple times a week, and then it'll go weeks without it.
I think when you're outdoors, like my dad never bought me that stuff. I got a Sega Genesis when I was younger. Like I said, we used to go to horse track a lot, and I hit on the Exacta and or trifecta. I hit a trifecta, and I got whatever my dad handed me, but it was a good one. I was enough to go to Sam's Club and buy a Sega Genesis, and I played it a lot. But at the end of the day, I bought that really, I guess, for myself. But I don't know, he never bought me that stuff. But he would buy me any sport thing I wanted,
Yeah.
But I think when even as a kid, it's like how can you? If Jerry can go crabbing and you can go fishing and they can go hunting, and you give them the Switch, it's like it's cool for a moment. You're like, all right.
Well, I think it's okay to have for something to do at sometimes.
At sometimes,
there's not, it's not an everyday thing, and so Sega Genesis when it came out, I was, probably maybe 6th grade. 7th grade, I can't really remember, but what I do know is that's the last video game console I owned. So I had the NES, the Nintendo as a kid, and then Sega Genesis, and then after that, when I got into my teenage years, I just stopped being that interested in video games. Yeah. I would still play with my buddies. We would go play.
A lot of times I played on other people's consoles,
but I didn't have it at my house.
Whenever GTA became more real, and I'd go over someone's house, PlayStation, I'm like, dude, I gotta play Grand. And then however long we were staying there, I would fucking just crack out on it. And
dude, we so I didn't have the PlayStation or N64 or any of them. And the very first Grand Theft Auto that came out, you remember like the aerial view.
Get the Viper.
So I was sophomore, senior in high school, and me, my buddy Rob, my buddy Chris, we would go over to Rob's house after football practice. Right over there, we would play Grand Theft Auto for a couple hours and go home. But I didn't have it, and I really didn't give a shit. I didn't want to go play. Like I didn't fiend for it. It wasn't an addiction.
Yeah.
And you see some kids now that are on their consoles that just, fucking play these crazy games. What's the big popular game? There's first player.
Fallout or like Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. That's it. Yeah.
During COVID, man, I'd go to people's houses because none of the kids were doing school. And they all, they're just taking a break. I'm like, bitch, they probably been playing that game all day.
Yeah. Or they're up all night doing it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're staying up all night on that game.
We did it in college. And, if Megan was going to play some games in college or whatever, man, it's like you're in a dorm. You're stuck on one place.
Yeah.
You're with your bros. You want bro?
Yeah, but don't make it your whole life.
So that's your whole life. I mean,
and that's the point.
It's
I think
escape.
Getting your kids into the other things, or keeping them outdoors, introducing them to different activities, different sports, so they don't get honed in on one thing, like a video game or a tablet or a phone, and just, like it's okay to be a nerd, but don't be a nerd on one thing, right? Nerd out on everything.
Yeah.
And so far they're good. They're not on their tablets or devices all the fucking time. They go outside and play. They do like that. They don't play video games all the time, every once in a while. So they can keep on this trend and then be okay with not having a fucking phone that if their buddy at school has a nice iPhone and they're like, damn, I want that too, I gotta tell them no. Like, no, we're not getting that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And also...
Because they're going to be embarrassed. When they have the little flip phone when they're out at the mall, they're going to be embarrassed about it.
I just give them a whole lot. Yeah. I just, I'm so afraid that I just want to make sure I ride that line properly, especially with my daughter, like not wanting, to talk to boys via apps because everyone else is. She doesn't have it, so it's more of an allure or something. Yeah. Hopefully, that's the only thing that scares, but it doesn't make it better for her to have it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I just, I guess it'll be a lot of talks and just make sure she's, she'll be like, I don't need that. Just make sure that they have the swagger, that they don't need that shit.
Dude, that's a good point. Like talking to boys, and because damn well, teenage boys are pussies. Most of them don't want to talk to a girl in real life, right? That's why we passed notes when we were kids. Like, remember, girls and kids would do that. So now it's text messages, it's private messages on apps. So boys are just they can get their be a little more brave if they're just typing.
Hey, we still Instagram or AOL, but I'm sorry, that was my buddy.
Yeah. Man, you just went back in the bank when you said that.
You try something on a girl, like, that was my buddy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, man. He jumped over
answer, right? You know what I mean?
Dude, you legit just brought. I didn't even know that was back there in my mind. You fucking brought it up. Holy shit!
I feel like, I'm gonna try it. If it don't work, I'll just play with someone else.
Yeah, it's that sort of thing, right? So what do? Do you just teach them that that's not cool? You just teach them. Do you try to tell them that, like, the guys that do that, you don't want to talk to them anyway?
Yeah, we'll definitely have to train her on guys, like, and how they're, Gosh, yeah.
But you can't give up all the secrets.
Can't give up all the secrets. I just want to make sure she doesn't want that attention. Like that. I think that's the biggest thing is making sure that. I think this probably comes from good fathers, making sure you have enough attention at home. Mm-hmm. I think most girls that are probably sluts that I've heard about.
Yeah.
Just didn't have the attention at home. Probably usually had some crazy ass.
Yep.
I think home life. Bad dad or
It's weird because you get stressed out over it, like thinking about this stuff, like how are we going to navigate through this? Because you do just get one shot.
And I think you do definitely get one shot, and I think you do have to make a mental. I'm not going to do that. It's going to work out. It's fine. Because I remember some girls that I dated, like their parents did not talk about that shit.
Yeah.
Their way of dealing with it, they were so like straightforward, like which I thought was a problem, and especially as an adult now, and a parent, I thought was definitely devastating. Is they couldn't talk to their parents about real things because they're like, they're just like, we don't do that, you don't do that, we're not talking about it. No more discussion.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I'm sitting in the house like, that doesn't seem healthy at all.
Dude, that's where there's a lot of things the old school way that are not good.
Not good.
And people go, oh, back then was better. There's a lot that wasn't better.
I don't think, not talking to your kids about those things or, bringing certain stuff up, I think is definitely more devastating.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And we have, because of technology, education is at our fingertips.
Yeah.
So as a parent, there's no excuse to say you didn't know. because you can learn things. There's good things that can come from that.
And I think you need to make a mental focus of those things that we are going to work out on those timelines, because these are like big hurdles to get through. You know, like what about birth control?
Yeah,
when you're doing that, what's it? Because you know that conversation is really like, hey, I need birth control because I'm gonna have some sex, and also like. Yeah. I remember fathers that they wouldn't let their daughters on birth control, and I'm like,
yeah.
Hey, look, to act like she's not, like, to say, like, you can't have sex, and to act like she's not going to have sex, and not give her birth control is almost like,
you're
asking for it.
That's a mommy conversation. But maybe
is it?
But maybe you should.
You gotta be a mom too, man.
I don't know. Yeah, I know that's just me being scared of the conversation.
Honestly. It's a. I don't know if it is a crazy conversation as much as like if you just get it out in the open, like, look, are you gonna have sex? Like, is it we're about to have sex talk?
Yeah.
You know, like
it really can be. It shouldn't be any different than drinking. Yeah. You know, like any of that stuff. Like, if I'm comfortable talking to her about drinking, then I should be just as comfortable about like. They
gotta be. My parents made it very clear. Like, if you. Not that you fucked up, if you kind of fucked up, like if it's a oh shit situation, like you got to come to us because to deal with this shit later on, it's gonna be a lot harder.
Yeah.
So like, you know, my dad bought me, like, he'd bring home fucking boxes of rubbers.
Yeah.
The girls would come in and say, look, we don't want no little rights running around here.
Yeah.
You know, like made it very clear.
Yeah, because you're gonna do it anyway. You know.
I mean, it's easier to do with your son, like get in there, have fun.
Yeah.
Now my daughter, I'm like,
I know.
You know what's crazy is like, I think about that too. Like so let me ask you this: Do you like? It's fucking crazy, man. Because I can remember fooling around with girls in basements, the parents like cuddling on couches, like all kind of crazy shit. And this is with good people too.
Mm-hmm.
Like where will I be as a parent? Like, are the boys coming over to our house? And like you already know, like I already know myself. Like this bitch gonna try to finger bang my daughter.
We're gonna go watch a movie down in the basement. We're gonna go watch a movie in the thing. But you can't crowd them either. You can't do that. But it's me. I knew what I did. I know.
Because if you shit out my daughter, I'm like, God darn.
Because if you're like, no, you're not doing that, then you're just causing bigger problems. You know what I mean? So you've got to be.
So I'm trying to be the thing I'm talking about not being, is not addressing it.
So yeah, exactly, because you don't.
So you gotta let your daughter go to dry home. Is what you're saying?
I mean, I don't want to say that, but I feel like the alternative.
You guys, it's open.
I feel like the alternative is worse though. The alternative, I think, is worse because it creates, now it drives a wedge between you two. It's going to make her want to lie to you more, and like all those things are worse.
And she has access to apps and the text messaging. Then that's where that is the devil's glove right there.
Yeah,
brother.
And I don't want her to hide things. I'd rather her be open, even if it makes me uncomfortable. You know, I've never, honest to God, I've never thought about this, about that conversation of. What about when she wants to go on birth control? I'll have to ask Pam like how that went with her. I never knew that. Like how did you go about talking to your parents about birth control? When did you start that and all that stuff? That's something I've never.
When we get done, we'll ask Candace.
Yeah, we should go do that.
Because I think that I remember all the girls like at that certain age, all the girls in high school were like.
They were on birth control.
And at some point it comes up. I remember, you know. The mom would be trying to sell it, you know, to somebody, and the dad would like, nah, because I don't want to have sex. But it's like, you're thinking like in your head, like, she's going to do it.
That's not going to stop it.
It's not going to stop it.
Yeah.
To act like you got this.
Yeah.
I think because by the time you're in high school, man, I mean, especially me, and the way these kids are, they should be pretty confident in their decisions.
Yeah.
You know, they should know what they want. So if they're going to want it, they're going to do it.
So there's definitely got to be those conversations way ahead of time, and so the comfort level is there.
I guess I could deal with it. You know, because here's the thing. Look, your daughter's going to have the first boyfriend. You know, man, I mean, I remember a girl dating in high school, her parents called us. I remember her mom walking in. It was one of the first few times, too, dude. Call us on the couch.
Damn, that's rough.
What kind of conversation did I have after that? I mean, and I'm thinking, that's why I have like these things in my head, like, am I going to allow boys to come over? Like, I think I could handle knowing that she was somewhere else. So
that's worse.
So then, okay, so it's worse. Because then my other thought was like, so is there another guy in the house while my daughter is possibly having sex with the son? And then I have another male downstairs. what's the dynamic in the house? Am I going to overanalyze this whole thing like a psycho?
I think it all goes back to the fact that the alternative to that, if you just basically say no and you fight it, the alternative is worse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because think about it.
I don't have a basement here.
Then you get it's gonna be hard to hide because you're not going in the bedroom.
They'll be out here.
You're not going in the bedroom. I would rather say, hey, okay, cool. You want to have a little movie night with your boyfriend? That's fine. You got 2 hours. You know, maybe we're gonna hang on. Maybe we're gonna hang on the back porch.
Where's it happen on your house?
Man, my house is small, so honestly, it would be like, okay, you can go in the bar.
I guess you do. I guess you do want to like nurture that moment.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to just like
as much as it sucks.
As much as it sucks, you do want to nurture that, right? So, gosh, man, that is going to be a crazy. Like, so we'll just be. That's like you should ask Travato. One of the first times that what's his name came over to take Lisa Lisa out, we were all over there. He brought all the boys over. We all. Well, was it not? Was the car run kid?
Who?
Our first big boyfriend.
I don't know.
Yeah, Lisa's.
I don't know. I've only known her a few years, so.
Yeah, John called us up. Called everybody over. All the boys are there. Hard handshaking. I think guns could have been out. We're all saying crazy shit. Like. Hey, he nurtured the moment, but he made sure there's.
So that's the way I want to be. I don't like the dads that like hide and want to be a dick to a boy. Like just be quiet. So imagine a boy comes into your house. Ellie's 15, and a boy comes in the house and you don't acknowledge him. You just walk around grumpy and try to be tough, right? That kid he knows nothing about you.
Yeah.
Versus so he doesn't give a shit about you.
So there's no respect.
There's no respect there.
Respect daughter.
Exactly. So versus him come in and you fucking shake his hand, look him in the eye, have a good conversation about him. Don't be a dick to him.
You gotta bring him in.
Yeah, just sit down and be a dude with him, because subconsciously he's gonna walk away going, man, I can't disrespect that guy.
Yeah.
He was nice to me. So he's going to, and that doesn't mean he's not going to do things, but it means he's going to keep your daughter safe. He's going to try to get her home on time. All those things. I think that's better.
Yeah.
So when the day comes, fuck, man, it's going to really hurt a little bit. But when Charlotte brings a boy home or I'm taking her on a date, like, I'm going to be really cool to that kid. I'm going to really put forth the effort and all that good stuff, because I want him to be like, damn, Charlotte's dad's pretty nice. Yeah, that's a good dad.
Yeah. I coach that age group. No, those guys are like, they're gentlemen. They're cool guys.
Yeah.
They're
I think athletes are where it's at, though.
Athletes are where it's at. You know why? Because they've had to stand up morally. Mm-hmm. When you're an athlete, you represent the community. Mm-hmm. You've been vetted. Yeah. You have to kind of rep yourself.
Yeah. That doesn't mean that you're not going to have other intentions. That's going to happen. But I think there's something to be said for somebody that's an athlete.
Let's switch it. Let's go to the boys. So how do we send off our boys?
Completely
to
different.
Else?
Completely different. Sneak away. Do this. No, there's a double standard there.
You need to box Chevy tonight.
Yeah, dude. There's a 1,000%.
You gotta sell it like, hey, you gotta be a fucking gentleman in there.
Yeah, that's the thing, because I don't care what anybody says. There is a double standard.
There's a double standard. You know why? Because a guy can take care of himself.
Yeah, and you have to.
He's not going to get predatored by the woman.
No. There's other lessons in there. It's not just about, hey, yeah, man, do your thing, buddy. It's not just about that. There's bigger things there. You're raising a man.
Yeah.
And but I think there's also like you said, dude, don't fuck up. We're gonna. You don't want to fuck up your whole life.
Here's the condoms. Put the fucking condom on, dude.
And let's be a gentleman. Here's things you're gonna do. Yeah. And look, go talk to her fucking dad.
Yeah.
Don't hide from that conversation.
Yeah. That was that gentleman. Like, my dad. We all thought that. Like, he always. I think that's why I probably easily got along with people's parents, because I was a dude when I showed up. Like, they had probably be happy I showed up, because I'm like, shook the hand, like, yeah, I'm a dude.
Yeah, I've never had a problem with a girl's dad, ever. They always got along with them. They always liked me a lot. There was never any bad experiences.
Yeah, we weren't like an awkward weirdo coming in where the dad can't read you. It's like, is this kid a psycho?
Yeah, no, I
have social skills.
And maybe that's something to be said for for my parents, for my dad, and
So, yeah, especially imagine the technology there. So, do you do location services then? Do you track where your daughter's at?
God almighty, man.
Because if you see the tracker and the car is off parked somewhere and it's not moving, come on.
And that's another thing too, though.
See that?
I want to know for safety.
I want to know for safety too.
But I also don't want her thinking, God, like, leave me alone, like, you don't trust me.
How do you do? Yeah. How do we ride that line properly?
So, like, do you have to lie and hide it?
I think you just don't embarrass her. You don't make it a point of like, hey, we're like. I think like, look, I'm doing location services, so I'm not going to monitor. Like, I'm just want to make sure you're safe. And I think if you prove it through steps, and nurture the trust right.
Yeah.
I mean, that way, because that would be your test, is she's learning to trust a man on not being an overbearing, psycho, control freak. I don't want to show her a control freak either.
No, you don't. Because you don't want her to be some way attracted to that or, crave that.
And then find crazy-ass men.
Yeah. So, can you just accept the fact that, like, look, I'm going to let you go and I'm not going to do, tracking thing? Because honestly, there's a way. If in an emergency situation, if they have a phone or something, shit in a vehicle nowadays.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what I wouldn't do.
Or the car don't start after they did it. I mean, there's so much else. The universe is going to provide the moments.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You think if you got a kid that doesn't really know how to change the tire and they just did it and they left the headlights on or radio on too long, now the car don't start. Like, hey, what you guys doing out here?
Yeah.
Come on.
I know. So I have a friend of mine that, this is the mom, her son was 16, 17 years old, driving. She had the app to track him, right? And she really was doing it for safety, right? Because she knows her son was crazy and he would speed, whatever. So she was legitimately just concerned about, I don't want you dead in a ditch somewhere, kind of thing. So he would basically turn it off all the time. And so she got tired of that, so she goes to Cabela's and buys a fucking dog GPS collar and every day would hide it somewhere different in his truck. So in the middle of the night, you go out there, take it out, charge it up, go put it back. So he didn't know it was there. So she could always figure out make sure where he was.
Yeah.
I know her heart was good. I know it was just a safety thing. I don't. But what kind of anxiety are you giving yourself?
You're creating and you're creating a game for your son to not trust you and.
I know, and I don't.
There's there's no book. There's no answer. There's no nut right.
That's really what it comes down to.
That's called parenting.
It is.
That's a figure the fuck out.
Navigating through those times, but I think mentally we want to do so good. That's why we're having this conversation, because you're putting the pressure on yourself. Like, I got one chance, I want to fucking nail it.
You don't want to push your kids away.
No, that's my biggest fear. Honestly, my biggest fear is my kids
Because some parents tell me that they're like, yeah, you don't want to get to 18 because eventually they're going to want to hang out. I'm like, well, hopefully I get enough outdoors with him. He's going to want to hang out with me forever.
And me and Pam talk about this all the time. We want to be the house where everybody comes.
Yeah.
I want to be the house where our kids' friends come over.
That's ours. I think we mentioned this before. That was our house because you could, and there was a lot of kids, that my dad pretty much raised.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of kids could come to my dad with real problems and talk. You could bring shit right out in the open with my dad.
That's a good place to be as a parent.
And then my mom, if you made Sunday morning, you got all you can eat fucking breakfast. She'd make it, throw it down. Everybody show up.
So we definitely want that, and it's for a whole magnitude of reasons, but it gives you that
puts you in a little bit of control.
Now everything's
nurture the group.
And then at the same time, it's like, man, what greater reward is that when your kids want to be at the house and are comfortable enough around you, and my parents aren't dicks, and it doesn't mean you gotta I'm gonna let the kids underage drink. It doesn't mean that. It just means they're comfortable and their friends are comfortable enough that you're doing it right.
We sat that at the beach, going to the Lingo's house.
Oh, really?
Oh, dude, the Lingos, Lily Lingo, she left girl with us, and dude, we'd go out drinking. She's like, I'll call my mom. Her mom will come with a big ass Tahoe or Suburban shit.
Yeah.
Fucking, and then take us all drunk ass kids, back to her house, and then fucking somebody order food, or she'd throw down the whole kitchen, make sure everybody's.
She'd make sure you're safe.
And then,
well, that's the thing. Look, if you're gonna be 19, 18 years old, whatever, and you're gonna drink, don't fucking hide it. Call me. You're never ever gonna get in trouble if you call me to come pick you up. I don't want you drinking and driving. Like, that's a whole another thing, too. The alcohol and, like, drugs is, keep them away and, dude, it's a fucking never-ending thing.
It's a never-ending,
and we're, like,
it is,
it's going to be here before you know it.
That's where technology scares me, is, like, with the cell phone, the texting, and the driving. Mm-hmm. You're a fucking sentence off from just killing somebody yourself.
Yep. I know. That's the biggest fear of mine, too. We didn't have that distraction.
Man. Not at all. I mean,
and the other people on the road didn't have that distraction.
And the other people surrounding you didn't have it. That one does scare me, especially like, you add that to kids going out and drinking, then they want to check the cell phone. Like, dude, you just. I drank and drove all the time. Not all the time in high school, but like anytime I drove home. We all drove home, But the town was so much smaller then.
Yeah. I feel like that right there, the driving part, I'm fearful of that more than the sex and alcohol and all that stuff. The driving part.
They're getting lifted, big ass trucks with brush grills, the fucking tail hitches, like a slow fucking turd, because I didn't, thank goodness I didn't grow up with anything fast.
No.
I don't know, some kids that grow up with shit fast usually wreck those cars.
Yeah. I went through a little go fasty time, but my first vehicle was a pickup truck.
Yeah, I had a Ford Ranger.
Yeah, I had a Ford F-150.
I could max a bitch out at 80 miles an hour.
Yeah,
and
same.
Shut off.
Same. It was right around 80. Maybe it might have been 90. The fuel cut off. Yeah, and you weren't going any faster.
Yeah.
But yeah, 1986 Ford F-150, bro.
86. Yeah.
Fucking single cab.
94, 90 or 94 Ford Ranger.
Damn.
I missed that thing. The purple pepper. You know what I mean?
Ford Ranger's pretty cool truck.
That's cool because it's the last small truck. We're going long. Is it going to be able to record all this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. We're still recording. We're about an hour right now.
Oh, my man.
Yeah. Good to go. But I don't know. I think all those technology pieces that from when they were a kid with tablet, and then the monitoring things and the distractions later on, the cyberbullying, the fucking sending nude pics. It's fucking never ending.
Just bring it. I think the biggest thing is bring it out before they even experience it.
Yeah.
Like if sitting and letting them know, like, this shit, the bullying thing, I'm never worried about. I'm gonna teach my kids, like, they're gonna, like, first off, they're gonna have humility. They'll make fun of themselves first.
Yeah.
The fact that kids can't make fun of themselves or care what other people, I'm gonna fucking wreck that one. Like, that's the easy one. But when you give them stuff and you let them know, like, these are things that happen. Don't be scared if you have someone bullying you, if someone's saying some shit online. Like, let us know. And I'll kind of teach you about it. Like, that person's probably hurting inside. Fuck them. They're the ones that actually cares what they say.
Yeah, for sure. It's
And we gotta lead by example. I can't be on my phone.
No. Yeah, no.
The job, all the trying to work Facebook and get all these leads and all, it's like.
Yeah, well, there's the time and the place, and I think being in the moment, if you're on a weekend or Saturday, Sunday, or in a weekday, out at dinner with your family or whatever you're doing, be there, be like present in that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, I don't, and I've always been like this. If there was a UFO going by and everybody was taking pictures, I'd be the one guy just like actually watching.
Yeah,
I never take the moment to take the phone. I'm like I'm doing it.
Yeah,
I'm in and out. I want to do the moment. I'm going to challenge my friends to, if you want to hang out with me, like, then make it a thing.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be around my phone like, oh, I missed your call. Like, we would have, like, fucking set it up.
Yeah.
We all got kids now. Like, just set this shit up. Like, so, like let's go old school. We did this before. Call me on a Tuesday. Say like, yo, what are you doing this Saturday?
Yeah.
If you say something at 9 o'clock, like, I can tell you right now, my brother and I, if I told that bitch somewhere 3 months from now, be here at 9 o'clock.
Mm-hmm. He'll do it.
We did it with, I'll tell you, we did one, he was when he lived in Burma, Southeast Asia. He was like, yo, I'm coming home for summer. I was like, all right, man, well, I'm going to Virginia on this date. I'll be at the river at this time. You've been to the river before? He's like, I'm pretty sure I know where that river's at. I'm like, I'll be here at this time. Sitting there. Oh, shit, here comes a black car down. I'm like, oh, shit, it's Matt.
No shit.
Motherfucker traveling from half around the world. Like, yeah, you sit here at this time, whatever. All
That's
right.
wild.
I'm like, all you got to do is set the time and the date. Like, I'm that kind of person. You say, like, be at the boat dock at 9:30 on the Thursday. Like, you don't have to check up with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I always hate that when people are like, oh, I didn't hear back from you. Like, we said we were doing it.
Yeah.
Why the fuck I gotta check in with you again?
That's the big difference in when we were kids versus now, because it was you're like, remember doing that shit. You're like, okay, we're gonna meet here. You talk on your landline, and you say, or you saw somebody in school. Hey, we're gonna be here, and okay, I'll see you then. And there's no like double checking. It's just you're there or you're not.
Yes,
that was it, and that was normal. It was okay.
Yeah,
and everybody was there.
Then you find out later why someone couldn't show up.
Yeah, and you didn't stress over it. You weren't like, oh, let's wait, let's text Tom, see where he's at. It's just like, okay, he's not coming. No big deal. Yeah,
that's okay.
Isn't that wild? It's just,
I'm going back to that. So I'm gonna like.
So I gotta make sure I hit you up early in the week or in the month about things.
Like, hey, because I'm trying to make the moments more special and more planned and more thoughtful. And I'd rather see you one time really good than 3 times okay.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to be like, we threw some shit together. Like, like, yo, why don't we take the time, hit me up, let's make it genuine and really fucking hone into life. Because like you and I said, we fucking know from our dead dads, fucking life is short.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to figure out the weekend on Sunday.
No.
I'm trying to be like, yo, hit me up in like 2. I got the schedules filling up.
Yeah.
I'm feeling full of fun shit. I want to do shit with my kids because they're still kids. Motherfuckers are growing right in front of my face.
So what do you? Getting like close on time here. Today's Sunday. We talked about. So this isn't what we normally do. We normally film on Fridays. So what's your Sunday usually this time of year? You're down the beach.
Down the beach.
Do you reserve Sunday for a relaxed day, for just a do nothing, schedule nothing?
Yeah. It's what I try to do is schedule something. I do try to schedule something that allows for not doing anything.
Yeah.
So like boat Saturday. That's scheduled. You got to plan that. Like as far as like take some coordination, get on there.
Yeah.
Then we get to a spot. It's a more of an ordeal. Yeah. Sunday, like let's just do the drive on.
Okay.
And then whatever happens. Right. But I'm at the spot where we don't need to leave no more.
Yeah.
It's easy on, easy off, and it's nice and relaxing. And then whatever happens organically happens.
But you'll go do things on a Sunday. So we try
or we don't. Yeah, if it's super windy out, then we'll say, all right. Well, we have like in the back of my mind, we're like, all right. So we do the parks. We have a lot of places we can go, but the Sunday is for. Yeah, it's always family time. Dude, I hang out with Candace and the kids every day. It's everything's family time.
Yeah, but a Sunday's more of a recharge the batteries day.
We do, but what we're trying to do because I get super annoyed of like cleaning the house and stuff. I'm like, it's a shame that we clean the house on weekends because I feel like we just got to do better during the week because I don't want to waste this weekend on cleaning the house.
So Friday is cleaning day. For us.
Try to make and
so when everybody comes home for the start of the weekend, house is clean, everything's ready to go. And we know with little kids, it's not going to stay clean long. But that's for the same reason. So the weekend we don't have to worry about it. You know, Friday's the end of the week. Our schedules are fucking nuts. So there's usually shit everywhere. So Friday the house is clean and it's like you get to go into the weekend nice and ready.
Also, we have we call it grill and chill. Like today we'll do grill and chill. Like I will cook. I cooked a lot yesterday because the house was bombed. I was like, fuck it, the house is destroyed. I'm going to destroy it even more. We're cooking. I cooked a ton of food.
Yeah.
But well, normally, like on Sunday, I will cook all the protein.
Yeah.
Grill and chill is also for the week. Like, I cook all the proteins. I don't even try to make meals. Cook all the proteins during the week when we go sit down for dinner. I can take whatever protein. It's cooked on the grill. I smoke out the inside of the house. I can take a small pan, cook whatever vegetable is done.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, I like that. I'm going to be eating a lot of tuna fish today. I got some. I said, shit, I meant to bring you over some. Fuck,
no, that's fine, dude. I'll tell you what.
Come get it.
I'll tell you what time are you cooking?
Honestly, when I left, I told Pam, I said, look, go to the grocery store, get these things. I was like,
I'm going to take Making Fishing. She's going to walk around. What's I'm excited about? First time like that. Because I'm going to get a can of, I don't know if you ever fish with a can of corn. You ever do that?
No.
Yeah, I do.
Like catch carp and shit.
Or
I guess they catch
little
stuff, yeah.
It's easy. Just taking it,
pulling a hook and a bobber.
Hook and a bobber. I got some nice wooden bobbers from Dick's. They're pretty cool. So I want to cast it out with this little Spider-Man thing and do that for a little bit. And I expect them to lose interest in about 5 minutes. Probably.
Yeah, you with a kid like that, you're going to get an hour of fishing maybe.
Yeah, what's cool.
Yeah, 30 minutes to an hour, and it's completely fine. But no, if you want to come by, we're not doing anything.
Yeah, man.
Come over, go swimming, we'll play some music.
Oh, you do have a pool.
Yeah, you can come swimming, and because that's my day is going to be legit sitting out on the patio.
That sounds so good.
Also, okay, so if I'm coming over, right? We didn't plan anything else, right? Who cares? So then, do we ask Pam and Candace about birth control together?
Yeah,
when they're together.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll do that. All right, let's wrap it up. Good little Sunday.
It's good Sunday vibes, bro.
Oh, no shoes Sunday too.
No shoes.